identification is not there, I may superimpose the identification. Understand? This is a condition. And nowhere there is an identification between Atma and Anatma. Because why? Because both of them are totally contradictory in nature. How do you say? Yushmat asmat pratyaya gocharayoho. That's how the contradiction is started. The first statement is a statement of Purva Pakshi showing the impossibility or untenability of this adhyasa. That whatever conditions are called for adhyasa are not available here. And therefore, adhyasa is not possible. So what are the conditions? Says these conditions are not available. Because paraspara viruddha svabhavayoho. Tamah prakashavad viruddha svabhavayoho. Those which are mutually exclusive can never be appreciated in one location. That idam and rajatam are not mutually exclusive. So idam and rajatam are appreciated in one location. But Atma and Anatma are mutually exclusive. Where one is, the other cannot be. Just as where one, the light is, the darkness cannot be. So there is no way that someone can appreciate light and darkness as available in one location and then can commit an error later on. So first statement here shows the impossibility of adhyasa because the conditions are not satisfied. Therefore Bhashyakara had to say this, Yushmat asmat pratyaya gocharayoho. Therefore the first explanation of this expression was given as Yusmat Yuyam iti pratyaya Yushmat pratyaya Vayam iti pratyaya Asmat pratyaya. The cognition you is called Yushmat pratyaya, the cognition we is called Asmat pratyaya. It was said that the grammatical conditions require that if Yushmat and Asmat are employed in singular, in that case both of them must be replaced. There is an adesha. So Yushmat must be replaced by Tvat and Asmat must be replaced by Mat, and Tvan Mat pratyaya gocharayoho. That should have been the construction of that compound. The fact that that is not done by Bhashyakara means that Bhashyakara intends them to be in plural. And it makes sense that you, which stands for the whole class of objects, is plural because there are so many, countless. I, which stands for the subject, is not really plural, but then people take it to be plural because people take the self as so many different conscious entities. And that way, upadhi, bhedat. So, from the standpoint of the upadhi, asmat can also be understood to be many, and therefore, that yushmat asmat pratyaya gocharayo, that cognition or the concept of you and the concept of I, gocharayoho. There the gochara word was interpreted as yogya. So yogyata means that which is fit for being the concept you and that which is fit for being concept I. We may not necessarily take it to be so. Like ahankara, which is fit to be the concept you, we might confuse it to be the concept I. Therefore, gochara is normally vishaya. So that which becomes the object of the concept you and that which becomes the object of concept I. For us, ahankara also may become the object of concept I. Therefore it said that which is fit to become the concept object of concept I. So actually ahankara is not fit to become the object of concept I because it is jada. And therefore only Chidatma or pure awareness is fit to become the object of concept I. It also doesn't become object, but it shines aparokshata, and therefore we can say that it is fit to become the object of concept I, and everything other than pure awareness is anatma, is only fit to become the object of concept you. This is how the first explanation was given, and the principal explanation, because it was given first by the author himself. Subsequently, however, to bring about, to show the other contradictions that can be seen, Ashrama Sri Charana, that is another commentator, and how he interpreted this compound. So, how did he explain this construction of the compound Yushmat Asmat Pratyaya Gocharayoho? He found out a different condition. It is not only that if they are not that used in plural, the first commentary was since Yushmat and Asmat are in plural, therefore that Tvama Adesha is not necessary. Here he says, even when Yushmat and Asmat are employed in Lakshana, in an implied meaning, then also that Tvama Adesha is not done. As Panini is not done, even though there is no sutras In other one there is a sutra. That only in singular the adesha is done, in plural it is not done. Here such a sutra is not there. That in Lakshya the adesha should not be done. But since Pani has written a sutra, Yushmad Asmadoho, Shashti Chaturthi, that sutra is there. There Pani has this construction, Yushmad Asmadoho. Therefore, we say there must be a reason why Pani has done it that way. What's the reason? Reason is this, that usually Yushmad means Sambodhya Chetanaha. Means the conscious being who is addressed is called you. And Ahankara Vishishta Chetanaha Asmat. When I say I mean that Chetana who is the conscious being who is conditioned by the sense of individuality. This is how in common parlance the concepts you and I are employed. Nobody calls Paramatma as I. Who is called I? Only the conscious being who is characterized by the sense of individuality. So Ahankara Vishishta Chetana Asmat Padavachya and Sambodhya Chetana Yushmat Padavachya. The direct meaning of Yushmat and Asmat are this. Then, if the words Yushmat and Asmat are not employed in this direct sense, then they are employed in what we call an implied sense, then also this Tvama Adesha is not there, is what we would derive, we presume, from the use of Paniniya Sutra. That's called Athapatti. Had the Adesha been necessary, Panini would have done that Adesha in his Sutra. The fact that Panini has not done the Adesha, there must be a reason behind it. And reason is that in that Sutra, the words Yushmat and Asmat are not employed in the common sense of Sambodhya Chetana and Ahankara Vishishta Chetana, but there in that Sutra, the words Yushmat and Asmat are employed as words Yushmat and Asmat. And so, the Shabda has Lakshata Avachedakatvam, meaning Shabda is Lakshya. It is an implied meaning. And therefore, this Tvama Adesha is not carried out. And here also, by this word Yushmat and Asmat, Bhashyakara can be said to imply, by Yushmat, not Sambodhya Chetana or the conscious being, but the whole Jada Jatam, this whole Anatma, which is inert, is what is understood by Yushmat. And by Asmat, not the Ahankara Vishishta Chetana, but Chidatma, pure awareness. And therefore, in case of what Bhashyakara also wants to indicate, we are not taking the conventional meaning of Yushmat and Asmat, we are taking implied meaning, which are related. And therefore also, that's the reason why Yushmat and Asmat are not replaced by Tvat and Mat. And secondly, just as Pani also intended to mention, to understand Yushmat and Asmat as words, Bhashyakara also means Yushmat and Asmat as words also. Why is it so? They said, why is it necessary to take two kinds of Lakshanas? Because the Yushmat and Asmat as words are also Lakshyartha of the Yushmat and Asmat, and as concepts also there is Lakshyarthatvam. So both ways the contradiction is shown, because the words Yushmat and Asmat also are mutually exclusive. The idea is, Bhashyakara could have written Idam Asmat Pratyaya Gocharayoho. Idam stands for all inert and that which can be objectified, but Bhashyakara did not use Idam. Why did Bhashyakara use Asmat? Because sometimes Idam and Aham, both of them are in the same locus. And so, I am Aham Asmi, such as I, so that such as I am. And so that and I are sometimes used in the same location. So they cannot be said to be mutually exclusive in every condition. But then you and I are always mutually exclusive. They are never used in the same location. And therefore, by the Shabda Yushmat and Asmat also, the contradiction is pointed out. And of course, what is implied by Yushmat and Asmat also, the contradiction is pointed out between Jada and Chetana. And therefore, this extra meaning is available from the commentary given by Ashrama Sri Charana, and therefore is mentioned. That also is acceptable commentary. Because Shabda Sadhutvam and Artha Sadhutvam, both of them is there. Shabda Sadhutvam, because Tvama Adesha is not there, is justified. Artha Sadhutvam, because Jada and Chetana are totally contradictory to each other. Okay, this is how far we went last time. Of course, some minor other two objections were there. Abhyarhitam Purvam that which is pujyam, that which is reverential should always be placed first. Asmat is more reverential with reference to Yushmat. Asmat means Chetana, is more reverential with reference to Jada. Somebody says Swamiji, but in English we always put I later. You and I we always say, never I and you. In English language, I is always comes at the end. Because we always give importance to others. So, these three of us went. Who? Such and such and just, and I went. Not I. In Gujarati we might say that. But in English, I is always placed at the end. So, how come normally Yushmat means you is always placed first? Why do we say that Asmat is Abhyarhitam? Asmat in this case doesn't mean I, it means consciousness. It means Brahman, and therefore it is Abhyarhitam, and therefore it should come first. It does not come first. Why? Well, there must be some reason why. Panini in his sutra, Yushmad Asmadoho, he must have some reason why it was not placed first. And therefore, Maharshi Prayogaha. Since Maharshi has done it, it must be alright. And the reason was, and of course, Ekadeshascha, that when these two pronouns are used, both of them are replaced by the one pronoun which follows later. When the pronouns fall in the category of a class, which was Tyadadi, Yushmat and Asmat fall in that category, and so both of them should be replaced by Asmat. So Asmat Pratyaya Gocharayoho, that should have been the compound, that also is not done, because Panini is not done. In his sutra, Yushmat Asmadoho, Shashti Chaturthi, etc. And also, if these Yushmat and Asmat are replaced by one pronoun Asmat, in that case, that contradiction that is sought to be brought about by Yushmat and Asmat words would not have been brought out. And that way it makes sense that Yushmat and Asmat are mentioned, both of them are mentioned. Now going to page 22 of this Ratna Prabha. And what's the page number of that big book? 5, okay. It says Vruddhastu Yushmadarthat Anatmanah Nishkrushya Shuddhasya Chiddhatoho Adhyaropa Apavadanyayana Grahanam Dyotaitum Ado Yushmat Grahanam Ityahuhu. So in earlier two opinions also it was shown why Yushmat is placed first. That was shown, Shabda Sadhutvam was shown. Now in this case, yet another kind of reason is given. Vruddhaha means the old people, ancient people means even earlier commentators. Now they gave an explanation, earlier means after Bhashyakara of course, because it's a commentary on Bhashya. But then much earlier than this commentator of Ratna Prabhakara. So says Yushmadarthat Anatmanah Nishkrushya. Yushmat is what? Anatma. You means Anatma, non-self. Fifth case, Yushmadarthat Anatmanah, from the Anatma, Nishkrushya. So, Nishkrushya means what? Removing from that Anatma, Shuddhasya Chiddhatoho Adhyaropa Apavadanyayana Grahanam. He says the reason why Yushmat or Anatma is placed first is that from the Anatma, by the Adhyaropa Apavadanyaya, you remove that element which is Mithya and retain that element which is Satyam. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyade. So Purnamadaha Purnamidam. Adaha means Brahman, that is Purnam, complete. Idam Jagat, that also is Purnam. Or Adaha Brahman is Purnam, Idam Jivaha also is Purnaha. Purnaha in that sense, so Brahman is Purna in a primary sense, Jagat is Purnam in a secondary sense, in as much as it is complete. Because Purnat Purnam Udachyate, since this Jagat has come out from Brahman which is Purnam, therefore that which has come out from the Purna must also be Purna. But then how do we know that Purnam? Purnasya Purnamadaya. So retaining or removing the Purna from the Purna, Purnameva avashishyate, Purnam alone remains. So from the Sopadikam Saguna Brahman, retaining the Brahman which is Nirgunam and Purnam, so what remains is Purnam Brahman. Meaning that Adhyaropa, which is done upon Brahman of the gunas or the akara, that adhyaropa, removing that, what remains is, so, anupahitam chaitanyam. So upon chaitanyam, which is Brahman, we superimpose name and form, and we have what we call Jagat. So what is Jagat? Jagat is nothing but a kalpana of name and form upon chaitanyam or Brahman. What is dream world is nothing but a kalpana of name and form upon I. What is part is nothing but a kalpana or superimposition of name and form upon the clay. So it said Vacharambhanam Vikaro Namadhem Mrittika Ityeva Satyam. So there in a part, Mrittika or the clay alone is Satyam. And what we call part and name and form, really it doesn't have an independent Satta. It need not be there. And so the name and form is called Mithya. So there is already an adhyaropa, a superimposition of name and form upon clay. And apavada, to see that that name and form is Mithya, that process is called apavada or badha. Not destruction of name and form, but falsification of name and form. Because in analysis, any change is not necessary, but appreciation is necessary. So when a pot is in front of me, it is not necessary that the pot should be broken for me to appreciate that it is clay. But even when the pot is there, to appreciate that all that there is really clay, and what we call part, name and form is only a kalpana on my part. The substance called clay alone is called pot by me, and so pot is what? Adhyaropa, a superimposition upon the clay. Apavada is what? To appreciate that that is only superimposition and not a reality. So similarly, what is Yushmat? Yushmat is the whole creation. What is the whole creation? Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayanti abhisamvishanti. So that from which the whole creation is born, that by which it is sustained, and to which it goes back, that is Brahman. And therefore, this whole creation is something that is superimposed upon Brahman. This Nam Rupatmakam Jagat, because wherever name and form is, it's a superimposition, just as in a part. So we take the illustration of a part. That part is the name and form, and that is superimposition. So wherever name and form is superimposition. The whole Jagat is what? Nothing but a combination of all the objects which are names and forms, and therefore all of them are superimpositions upon a substratum which must be free from names and forms. So the whole creation is a superimposition on Brahman which is devoid of name and form. So Yushmat represents the Anatma Jatam, the whole creation, which is what? The names and forms, which is a superimposition, represents Adhyaropa. And Asmat represents what? The Atma, the Chit Dhatu, or the consciousness, which is devoid of name and form, and represents what? Apavada. So when we really appreciate the creation, then we see that names and forms have their subsistence upon Asti, Bhati and Priyam. So Asti, Bhati, Priyam, that's only truth, and name and form are not the truth. That Asti, Bhati, Priyam means Satchit Ananda. That alone is what is meant by Asmat Pratyaya, and that is truth. So Adhyaropa and Apavada is what is shown there by use of the words Yushmat, Asmat, Pratyaya. Why is Yushmat used first? Adhyaropa, Asmat, Apavada. This is a process of inquiry. This method of of revealing that which is beyond words is Adhyaropa and Apavada. So that is what is meant, said here. Yushmadasat anatmanah nishkrushya. From anatma, which is what is meant by the word Yushmat or the concept Yushmat, nishkrushya, removing from that. Shuddhasya chiddhatoho grahanam devataitum. Adhyaropa apavada nyayena nishkrushya. By the nyaya of the method called Adhyaropa and Apavada. So removing the false element and retaining the real element. In Yushmat, there is a false element and a real element. What is the real element? Chid dhatuhu, meaning Chid vastuhu, pure awareness. And what is the false element? The name and form, or the Jadatvam. That whole Jadatvam itself is false. Because Jada also cannot really subsist unless it is supported by Chetana. Jada must be supported by Chetana. And therefore what we call jada or inert is ultimately, in the ultimate analysis, is nothing but a superimposition upon the Chetana. So adhyaropa apavadanyayana grahanam dyotayitum, to make us see that by asmat is meant the chid dhatu, and that can be arrived at by the falsification of name and form, or yushmat adau yushmat grahanam. Therefore Bhashyakara writes yushmat first instead of writing asmat first. So purva prayoge adhyaropa apavadanyaya eva moolamiti bhava. The idea is, the reason why yushmat word is placed first is there is a hint here of the adhyaropa apavadanyaya. To reveal that process, the reason for placing yushmat first ityahu. This is a very beautiful explanation. That Vruddha, whoever he is, doesn't go into these technicalities as to why that tvam adesha is there or not there. He simply says yushmat is placed first because it represents the mithya plus satyam. It represents adhyaropa. Asmat is placed second because it represents the chid dhatu or chid vastu. Purva sangrahena pratignatam tridha virodham vivranoti tatra iti. Then earlier Ratnaprabhakara had said that this expression yushmat asmat pratyaya gocharayoho represents three kinds of contradiction. Vastutah, pratiditah, vyavaharatah. In nature also they are contradictory, in appreciation also they are contradictory, in use also they are contradictory. So the threefold contradiction is now here shown by Ratnaprabhakara. Says tatra yushmat asmat padabhyam parak pratyatvena atma anatmanoho vastutah virodha uktah. Tatra means vruddha mate. In this particular mata means this particular explanation given by the earlier commentators, yushmat asmat padabhyam, by this word yushmat and asmat, yushmat asmat padabhyam, by the words yushmat and asmat, parak pratyatvena. Yushmat is parak. Parak means that which is outward. And pratyak is what? Which is inner. So outer and inner, or outward and inward. So this pratyak, this yushmat represents something that is parak, something that is outside. And asmat, I represent something that is inside. This is known, very well known. So these very two words, yushmat and asmat, they represent what? The nature of the things. One enjoys pratyaktvam, other enjoys paraktvam. Yushmat enjoys externality, asmat enjoys internality, and so that which is external and that which is internal, by nature also the difference between atma and anatma is pointed out by yushmat and asmat. So atma anatmanoho vastutah virodha uktah. Vastutah means swabhavatah. By nature, atma and anatma are contradictory. Because Atma is internal and Anatma is external. And therefore, these two words, they serve the purpose of pointing out the contradiction existing between Atma and Anatma by way of their nature. Yushmat asmat padabhyam uktah virodha vastutah virodha iti anvayah. Parak pratyak bhavatah uktah virodha yah saha vastutah virodha ityarthah. Vastuta means swabhavatah. So that which is parak and pratyak bhavatah. One enjoys the state of being parak, other enjoys the state of being pratyak. So that these two point out the contradiction in nature of atma and anatma. Padabhyam iti prayogaswarasya yushmadasma shabdatopi virodha asti iti vedam. Pada means shabda. So very words bring about the contradiction between atma and anatma. Then Ratnaprabha continues, pratyaya padena pratititah virodha uktah. Pratiti means perception or cognition. So word pratiti is explained two ways. Now yushmat asmat pratyaya. That pratyaya padena, by the word pratyaya. pratititah virodha uktah. The virodha, the contradiction obtaining between Atma and Anatma, is pointed out by way of cognition. Pratiyate iti pratyaya. So this word pratyaya is explained as pratiyate iti pratyaya. What is pratiyate means? That is karma. That which is perceived is called pratyaya. So pratiyate iti pratyaya ahankaradi anatma drishyataya bhati. That what we call yushmat is anatma, the non-self. That non-self is appreciated or shines as what? Drishyataya, as object. Ahankaradihi. So the anatma jatam, beginning from ahankara, right up to the gross body, all of that shines as object. Drishyataya bhati. So drishyam is what? Pratiyate. So that which is perceived or that which is cognized is called pratyaya in case of anatma. Then yushmat pratyaya and asmat pratyaya. What is yushmat? Anatma. There yushmat pratyaya means what? Yushmataya pratiyate. So that which is appreciated as yushmat. Now when you come to asmat pratyaya, then what? So atma tu pratiditvat. Atma na pratiyate. Atma is not cognized. Atma pratiditvat. Atma is of the nature of cognition, meaning of the nature of awareness. So Atma is that which shines. So pratiditvat pratyaya suprakashataya bhati. Even though Atma is not appreciated as an object, still it is known. How is it known? Suprakashataya bhati. Because it shines in its own light. It is self-effulgent. So Atma also is called pratyaya because it is self-effulgent. Anatma is called pratyaya because it is perceived as an object. So pratiyate iti pratyaya and pratitihi or pratititvat pratyaya. So that which of the nature of pratiti or of the nature of shining is called pratyaya in case of Atma, and that which is cognized is called pratyaya in case of Anatma. So word pratyaya points out the contradiction between Atma and Anatma by way of cognition or shining. The shine also contrary-wise. One shines as drishya, other shines as swaprakasha, Atma, the self. And third word is gochara. Yushmat asmat pratyaya gocharayaho. Gochara padena vyavaharataha virodha uktah. So pratyaya padena prakashya prakashatvatah uktah virodha pratititah virodha ityartha. One is prakashyam, other is prakashakam. That's the difference. And gochara padena paraspara bhinna jnana vishayatvatah ukto virodha vyavaharatah virodha ityartha. So in vyavahar also gochara, that which is subject of this yushmat pratyaya and asmat pratyaya. Vyavaharatah virodha ukta. How? Says yushmadartha pratyagatma tiraskarena karta aham ityadi vyavahar gochara. Asmadarthastu anatma pravilapena aham brahma iti vyavahar gochara iti tridha virodha sfutikritah. The yushmadartha. So that which is the meaning of this, the concept yushmat. Pratyagatma tiraskarena kartaham iti vyavahar gochara. So denying one's own nature, which is pratyagatma, and superimposing the kartrutvam, bhoktrutvam upon the atma, so that which is yushmat is something that is generally referred to as karta. So in the vyavahara, we use the word yushmat, which implies what? Karta, bhokta, etc. And that karta, bhokta requires a disowning of myself, atma pratyaya tiraskarana, and therefore a denying or disowning of myself and superimposing kartrutva, bhoktrutva upon I, and that is how that yushmat becomes the by vyavahara, yushmat is that which stands for kartrutva, karta, bhokta. Asmadarthastu, whereas what is the meaning of the word asmat? Anatma pravilapanena. So when you really come to inquire into even the nature of anatma, it ultimately resolves into atma. As we say, when you take any object and inquire into its nature, then you find that a given object in different ways you can do. But then this is flowerness. So this object is flower, possesses flowerness. So flowerness has its location upon flower. Flower is an adjective, flower is substantive. So adjective and substantive relationship is there. And then this flower itself becomes an adjective of something else, some other substantive. And that becomes an adjective of yet another substantive. And thus, earth is a substantive and flower is an adjective. Because flower is nothing but the modification of earth. And that becomes an adjective of some other substantive. And thus, when you keep on resolving, it ultimately resolves into something which cannot be an adjective, which must be free from all adjectivity, meaning it must be nirdharmakam. And thus, you make an inquiry. Intellectually also we can see that any quality must reside into a locus. And that locus turns out to be a quality again, which must reside in another locus. And this process will go on ad infinitum unless it stops someplace. And therefore it must stop, because otherwise there will be no world at all. The fact that a substance exists means that process stops somewhere. It must stop somewhere where there is it must stop at a locus which is not itself an objective, and therefore it must ultimately stop into the locus which is free from any qualities or attributes. And so that is why even when you take the anatma for inquiry, it ultimately resolves into atma or jadam also. They say there are different ways of looking at it. A part is nothing but a name and form superimposed upon the clay. Clay is yet another name and form superimposed upon the earth. Earth is another name and form superimposed upon atoms, which is another name and form superimposed upon smaller particles. And thus, how far will you go? Until there is no superimposition. It must ultimately reduce into a locus which is devoid of any superimposition, and that must become the basis of all the superimposition, which itself is not a superimposition. And that is Atma, which is self-subsisting or self-existing. Anything that depends upon something else must ultimately resolve into something which is independent. So this pot is name and form which is dependent upon clay, and clay is a name and form dependent upon earth. And thus when we keep on reducing it to more and more fundamental principles, it must ultimately reduce into a principle which itself is not a name and form, and which cannot be dependent upon someone else, which must be self-existing and self-shining. Just makes sense that everything should reduce to a self-existing and self-shining principle. Which is what? So, svaprakashataya bhati, that which shines by itself, that which exists by itself, and that is Atma. So, Asti and Bhati, or Sat and Chit. So, Anatma also ultimately turns out to be Atma only. That's why it is said that all there is Atma alone and nothing else. Atma eva idam sarvam. But until we know this, it looks as though Anatma and Atma are two different principles. In fact, they are not. However, as long as you do not know, what we are doing is, when we call something as Anatma, what we are doing is, in fact, it is Atma. But then when I call something as Anatma, what I am doing is, I am actually doing Atma Tiraskara. Meaning, I am denying the concept of Atmatvam, superimposing a given name and form, and then appreciating the object as an Atma. For me to appreciate this object in my hand as an Atma, what should I do? I must superimpose name and form upon the Atma to appreciate that as an Atma. So it is Yushmadartha, Pratyagatma Tiraskarena. Well, Kartaham, etc. may be difficult to understand. But even this flower also is Pratyagatma Tiraskarena. Actually, this flower also is myself, Atma alone. Which Atma? Sat and Chid Atma. But when I deny that Atmatvam and then superimpose the Anatmatvam name and form, then alone the flower can be appreciated as Yushmad or as Anatma. So every appreciation of Vyavahar of Anatma requires a Tiraskar of Atma. Whereas, when I really appreciate Atma, it will resolve into what? Chid Dhatuhu or Chid Vastu, which is Brahman. And therefore, Atma is fit for the concept of being, Atma is fit to be only Brahman. And therefore, Vyavaharataha, in Vyavahar also what Atma is used for Brahman, and Anatma is used for the superimposition of name and form. So that Vyavaharataha also there is a duality, in Pratititaha, in shining also there is a contradiction, and then by Swabhava also there is a contradiction. One is external, one is internal. One is Jada, one is Chedana. One requires the Atma Tiraskara, other requires the Atma owning up. Asmadastastu Anatma Pravilapena. When the Anatma is resolved, Aham Brahma iti Vyavahar Gochara, for a Vidwan. For a Vidwan who has completely resolved Anatma, for him the Asmat is subject to being appreciated as Aham Brahma iti. Tridha Virodha Sphutikritaha. That is why this Vruddha Mata is taken here. That when the Vruddha said that Yushmat is placed first for Adhyaropa and Asmat is placed second to show Apavada, that way threefold Virodha is revealed by that commentator, and that's why it is mentioned here. So every commentary or every explanation serves to show something, and that's why Ratna Prabhakar has been generous enough to mention here the explanation given by other commentators as well. गोचरपदेन परस्पर भिन्न ज्ञान विषयत्वतः उक्तः विरोधः व्यवहारतो विरोधः. Okay. Then how will you explain this compound युष्मद् अस्मत् प्रत्यय गोचरयोः? Says युष्मच्च अस्मच्च युष्मद् अस्मदि. Now युष्मद् and as are taken separately, pratyay is taken separately, gochara is taken separately, because each one brings about a contradiction. Formerly that was not done. Point said, यूयम यदि प्रत्यय है युष्मत् प्रत्यय है, वयम यदि प्रत्यय है अस्मत् प्रत्यय है. The second one, त्वम यदि प्रत्यय है युष्मत् प्रत्यय, अहम यदि प्रत्यय है अस्मत् प्रत्यय, because the second commentator did not require plural for the absence of tvama adesha. But then that yushmat and asmat were always attached with pratyaya. Here on the other hand, yushmat and asmat are taken separately, pratyaya is taken separately, gochara also is taken separately, so that threefold contradiction is revealed. Therefore the yushmatcha, asmatcha, yushmad asmadi, manaha manasi manamsi, dual, yushmad asmadi. Te eva pratyayau cha tau gocharau cha iti yushmad asmat pratyay gocharau. There's something here. Why is anatma? Because there is chit, why should it be inner? Then that innerness is further explained as tatra hetumaha vishaya vishayinoho iti. This anatmanah grahyatvat achitvam atmanastu grahakatvat chitvam vachyam. Since anatma is grahya, anatma is that which is known, therefore it is jada, and atma is the one who knows, therefore he is chetana. So since atma is vishaya, therefore is chetana, therefore is inner. Since atma is vishaya, since atma is subject, therefore it is chit, and therefore it is inner. Since anatma is object, therefore it is jada, therefore it is outer. So being object is the reason why it is jada, and that's the reason why it is outer. Being subject is the reason why it is conscious, and that is the reason why it is inner. Okay. अव्यवहित विग्रह सप्तम्या परामर्शते अचित्वेति. Then Ratnaprabha achitve swasya svena grahasya कर्म कर्तृत्व विरोधेन असंभवात अप्रत्यक्षत्व आपत्ति है इत्यर्थः. अचित्व. Suppose you say Atma is achitva or jada. Swasya svena grahasya karma kartrutva virodhat. Swasya means Atmanah. Svena means Atmana. Grahasya. If Atma knows Atma, then Atma becomes what? The subject as well as becomes the object. So Atma becomes the karta as well as karma. Jnana karta and jnana karma. Jnana ashraya as well as jnana vishaya. One thing cannot be simultaneously ashraya and vishaya. So karta is what? Jnana ashraya. Jnana karta means kriya ashraya. And karma is what? Kriya vishaya. And therefore, that ashraya and vishaya, or the subject and object, cannot be simultaneously there. And therefore, if you say that Atma is jada, in that case there will be a contradiction that Atma becomes a knower as well as known. So one thing cannot simultaneously be knower and known. In fact, it can never be known. Knower is always knower and known is always known. Achitve swasya svena grahasya karma kartutva virodhena asambhavat apratyakshat tva apattehe. And if Atma is known, then apratyaksha, it then becomes what? It doesn't become pratyaksha, it doesn't become immediate, it becomes remote. And Atma is appreciated as something that is immediate. If you say Atma is something that is known, achitva, then it will not be immediate. So apratyakshatva apattehe ityartha. So ekasya swasya jnana vishayatva rupam karmatvam tad jnana ashrayatva rupam kartrutvam cha viruddhamiti bhavaha. The one thing cannot be jnana vishaya, vishayatva rupam karmatvam, and tad jnana ashrayatva rupam kartrutvam cha viruddham. One cannot be vishaya and ashraya at the same time. Ratnavadi yatheshtam va hetu hetu madbhavaha. Or it can be other way around also. He said that one is external, other is internal. Why? Because one is jada, other is chetana. Why? Because one is object, other is subject. But it can be other way also. Why is one object? Because it is jada. And why is it jada? Because it is external. Why is one subject? Because it is conscious. Why is it conscious? Because it is internal. That way also you can understand. It doesn't matter. He says, yatheshtam, as you like. Yatheshtam va hetu hetumat bhavaha. Hetu means cause and hetumat means effect. And so, the cause and effect relationship can be understood in a different way also, as you like. In short, this is another explanation given by that Vruddha, fourth explanation. And there, the way was, Yushmat was connected with Gochara and Asmat was connected with Pratyaya. That way to bring about a contradiction existing between them. The contradiction of Jada and Chetana, outer and inner, and object and subject. That contradiction is beautifully brought out when that compound is resolved in that sense. Ataha matatrayana vigraha chatushtam. By the three opinions, four kinds of vigraha is given. Prayoga sadhutvam chadarshitam, va yushmad asmat pratyaya gocharayoho. How sadhutvam or propriety is there, that also is shown. विग्रहत्रय निरूपणानंतरम उक्त विरोधानुवादपूर्वकम भाष्यान्वयो दर्शितः. And then after having said the three vigrahas, then भाष्यान्वय also was shown. इदानीम अव्यवहित विग्रहोक्त विरोध प्रतिपादन द्वारा वृत्तम कथयन् शंकापूर्वकम उत्तर भाष्यम अवतारयति ननु इति. Now Ratnaprabha proceeds to explain subsequent bhashya, So having taken his own time to deal with Yushmad Asmat Pratyaya Gocharayoho, now fortunately he proceeds to explain the subsequent bhashya, So Yushmat Asmat Pratyaya Gocharayoho विषय विषयिणोः तमः प्रकाशवद् विरुद्ध स्वभावयोः इतरेतर भाव अनुपत्तौ सिद्धायाम. This much Bhashya has been explained. Yushmad Asmat Pratyaya Gocharayoho, of that which is the concept of Yushmad and Asmat, namely Atma and Anatma. Vishaya Vishayinoho, Atma being the Vishayi and Anatma being Vishaya. Tamah Prakashavad Viruddha Swabhavayoho, both of which are totally contradictory in nature or mutually exclusive like light and darkness. Itaredara Bhava Anupattau Siddhayam. Since it is very clear that both of them cannot have Itaredara Bhava, that one cannot become the other, or one cannot assume the nature of the other, so that Dharmi Adhyasa, or between Atma and Anatma, either Tadatmya, oneness, or identity, total Aikya, none of them is possible. It is Siddhayam, this is shown. What is the reason? Viruddha Svabhavatvam is a hetu. This Siddhi. So Itaretara Bhava Anupattihi, that both of them cannot become one. Why? Viruddha Svabhavatvat. Since both of them are totally contradictory in nature. So Viruddha Svabhavatvam becomes a hetu. So Virodha is a hetu. Viruddha Svabhavatvam is Virodha. Since both of them are totally contradictory, that contradiction or mutual exclusiveness becomes a hetu, or reason why this Atma and Anatma cannot be taken for one to be the other, or cannot be one identical. Atma cannot be Anatma, or Atma cannot be taken to be Anatma, because both of them are totally contradictory in nature. This part of the Bhashya is explained so far by different combinations or different explanations of that first compound, Yushmad Asmat Pratyaya Gocharayoho. So by studying that expression and resolving it in four different ways, that contradiction existing, Virodha, that existing between Atma and Anatma is shown, thereby to show how their Adhyasa is not possible. That means, Itaredara Bhava, either Aikya or Tadatmya is not possible, because both of them are opposed in nature. Threefold opposition is brought out. One is Swabhavataha, one is outer, other is inner. Pratititaha, one is illumined, other is self-illuminator. And Vyavharataha, that one is always treated as something that is Anatma. Only when you deny the Atma, that you appreciate the Yushmat. And when you really know the Atma as Brahman, then the real appreciation of Asmat is there. So Vyavharataha also is contradiction. Since this threefold contradiction is there, therefore, there is Itaretara Bhava, meaning that both of them assuming each other's nature, or both of them becoming each other, none of them is possible. So Anupatti means Asambhavaha, Asambhave Siddhau, that impossibility has been shown, has been proven. Siddhayam is an inference involved here. Bhashyakara does not write in language in inference, but is involved there. Which was, if you go back to Ratnaprabha, he started with that actually. Says page 16 of this and 17. Page 17, the first line. And the big book, Atmanatmau Aikya Shunyau Paraspar Aikya Ayogat. तथा ही आत्मानात्मौ ऐक्य शून्यौ. इसी जड़ तो पेज 4. In Ratna Prabha says, Tathahi Atma Anatmau Aikya Shunyau Paraspara Aikya Ayogyatvat Tamah Prakashavadid Matva. This is the inference that is involved in Bhashyakara's first statement. Atma Anatmau Aikya Shunyau. Atma and Anatma are devoid of oneness or identity. Why? What is the hetu? Paraspara Aikya Ayogyatvat. Because they do not enjoy, they do not have the fitness of becoming one with each other. Why is it so? Tamah Prakashavat Idi. Like light and darkness do not enjoy that nature by which they can become one or they can become in one location. And so, Tamah Prakashavat Idi Matva Hetu Bhutam Virodham. So that Virodha is a Hetu. The reason why there is an impossibility of oneness or identity between Atma and Anatma is because they are contrary in nature. In what way are they contrary? Three ways they are contrary. That is the Swabhavataha, Pratiditaha and Vyavaharataha. And this particular thing has been explained in all these discussions. How the Virodha is brought out. How different commentators sought to bring out Virodha in different ways. From that very expression, Yushmad Asmat Pratyay Gocharayoho. Of course, Vishayana also brings out the Virod, that one is subject, other is object. Therefore, one is inner, other is outer. One is Chit, other is Achit. And therefore, they are not fit to be one, or they are not fit to be identical, and therefore, Adhyasa between them is not possible. Because, if they can be in one location, or if they can be identical, then somewhere I may have seen their identity, and I may have the samskaras, and I can commit the error here. But there is no way that any time I would have seen Atma and Anatma in one place. Idam and Rajatam were seen in one place. And therefore when I find Idam, I can superimpose Rajatam there. However, Atma and Anatma were never seen in one place, because you could not have seen. Because it is impossible that they can be in one place. Because they are contradictory in nature. So they cannot be in one place. So you could not experience them to be one or identical. And therefore, there is no ground for you to commit the error of taking them to be one now. So Purva Pakshi says, Adhyasa is not possible because Atma and Anatma, you cannot have the memory or the samskara of their oneness, and that oneness cannot be because they are contrary in nature. And therefore, the first expression shows impossibility of Adhyasa between the two dharmas, Atma and Anatma. And therefore, there cannot be adhyasa between their dharmas or attributes. So, Atma Dharma is Chidatmatvam. Anatma Dharma is Jadatvam. This is Vishayatvam, Vishayatvam. Pratyaktvam, Paraktvam. And so, these dharmas also cannot be mutually superimposed. And that is how impossibility of adhyasa is first presented. And then it is shown, still we find it. And therefore we have to accept, even though it logically does not make sense, still we experience it. World does not make sense to anybody. To intelligent people it has never made sense. To people who do not think it makes solid, perhaps makes sense. Even they also come to know at the age of 69 or something that now it has not made any sense. It may take a long time for them to recognize that nothing has made sense. I thought this was mine, I realized it is not so. I thought this was good, this was real, it has turned out to be unreal. I thought this was reliable, it has not turned out to be. Whatever I expected, nothing is fulfilled. So in their own way, people do recognize that something is not right somewhere. And so world does not make sense. Creation doesn't make sense. Sadeva Soma Idamagrasi Dekameva Dvidiyam. If the whole universe was just one, a Brahman, one without a second, how can there be duality? Doesn't make sense. And still we experience it. That also is equally true. So there is somewhere some error. Since it doesn't make sense, people think that it makes sense. And they try to give you explanation of duality, then Bheda, all kinds of explanations are sought to be given. Thinking that it makes sense. To Vedanta it did not make sense at all. They said it is mithya. That which does not make sense is mithya. And ultimately that which is mithya is not there. In the beginning it is said mithya, ultimately they will say it is asat alone. That in 3 periods of time this creation is never there. In 3 periods of time the snake is not there. First of all, illustration that is given is of mirage water. It is not seen, not there, but seen. subsequently there it is like the rope snake, is not there at all. And so, then alone we can appreciate the truth which is one without a second. So, this is how the inquiry begins. That world doesn't make sense. So then how to find out sense from there? So this is the method of inquiring. That's why Adhyaropa Apavada. Adhyaropa is already done. Yushmat itself shows Adhyaropa. That whole world shows Adhyaropa. By Apavada, we come to know what is Asmat or what's the truth. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Omkarasya Shabdasya Dvavetau Brahmana Pura Kantham Mitva Viniryatau Tasmad Mangalika Bhau. Om Atha Om Atha Om Atha Vishaya Vishayinoho Tamah Prakashavad Viruddha Svabhavayoho Itaretar Bhava Anupattau Siddhayam Tadharmanam api Sutaram Itaretar Bhava Anupattihi Ityatah Asmat Pratyay Gochare Vishayini Chidatmake Yushmat Pratyay Gocharasya Vishasya Tadharmanam Chadhyasah Tadviparyayena Vishayinah Tadharmanam Vishaye Adhyasah Mithyed Bhavitum Yuktam. Adhyasah mithya iti bhavitum yuktam. This adhyasa is not possible. Two kinds of adhyasas are there. One is, says, Chidatmake Vishayini Asmat Pratyay Gochare Vishayini Chidatmake. Atma, who is of the nature of consciousness, who is Asmat Pratyay Gochara, the one that is revealed through Asmat Pratyaya, the cognition Aham or I. Upon such an Atma, it is not possible that there can be superimposition of the object or the attributes of the object. And similarly also, it is not possible that upon the object there is superimposition of the subject or the attributes of the subject. In the final analysis, Vigraha, the way it was resolved was Yushmadasmadi Parak Pratyek Vastuni. That Yushmadasmat Pratyek Gocharayoho was explained as Yushmat is related to Gochara and Asmat is related to Pratyaya. So Pratiditvat Pratyaya. That which shines, reveals itself is called Pratyaya. Asmat is that which reveals itself, that which shines, which is self-effulgent. And Yushmat is that which is Gochara, Vishaya, that which is illumined. And this way also it represents the contradiction obtaining between Yushmat and Asmat, between the object and subject. So it is said, Atra Pratyaya Gochara Padabhyam Atmanatmanoho Pratyak Parag Bhave Chidachitvam Hetu Uktaha. Atma is Parag, Anatma is Pratyak. Why is it so? Because Atma is Chit, Anatma is Achit. Atma is conscious, Anatma is Jad. Why is it so? Vishaya Vishayinoho. Because Atma is Vishay, the subject, Anatma is object. The idea is that which is outward is Jada and is object, and that which is inward is conscious and is subject. And this is always so. Therefore you can look at it either way. So whatever is going to be outward, anatma, is always going to be jada. And what is jada is also anatma. And also it is object. So what is object? Yad drishyam, tad jadam, tad anatma. So anything can be the hetu for anything else because they invariably go together. And so hetu mad bhavaha, either you can say that because it is object, therefore it is jada, and therefore it is outward, and atma is subject, therefore it is conscious, therefore it is inward, or other way also we can say. But idea is yushmat and asmat and pratyaya and gochara, they again seek to bring about the contradiction that obtains between atma and anatma. Anatmanah grahyatvat achitvam, atmanastu grahakatvat chitvam vachyam. That which is grahaka, the subject, must be conscious, and the one that is grahyam, meaning which is perceived or objectified, is object. Now we continue further. Says Purnananda on page 23 we are Ataha matatrayena vigraha chatushtayam prayoga sadhatvam cha darshitam. There are three matas. The Ratna Prabhakara gave his own opinion, Ashrama Sri Charana, another commentator, and Vruddhaha, the third. So three matas or opinions were given. Vigraha chatushtayam, but four explanations are given. Because Vruddhaha gave two explanations. And that is how we have Vigraha chatushtayam. That first expression is explained in fourfold ways. First expression was by the author himself, by the Tikakara himself. That Yushmat should mean, so Yuyamidi Pratyaya Yushmat and Vayamidi Pratyaya Asmat. And this is how the explanation was given. Second, Ashrama Sri Charanaha Tvamidi Pratyaya Yushmat Ahamidi Pratyaya Asmat. Thirdly, it was given here, there again Yushmat and Asmat and Pratyaya and Gochara, all of them were taken separately because Yushmat and Asmat point out the contradiction in threefold ways. So Vastutaha, then Pratiditaha and the Vyavaharataha. So Yushmat Asmat point out the contradiction obtaining Vastutaha by Swabhava. Pratyaya word points out the contradiction obtaining Pratitiha, and then Gocharaha points out the contradiction obtaining Vyavaharataha. And finally what we just discussed. So these four explanations were given. Vigrahatraya nirupananantaram ukta virodhanuvadapurvakam bhashyanvayo darshitaha. After giving the three vigrahas, then the Tikakara gave the bhashyanvaya earlier. So how Yushmat Asmat Pratyaya Gocharo Tayoho Tridha Vruddha Swabhavayoho Itaretara Bhava means Satyanta Abhedaha Tadatmam va Tat Anupattau Siddhayam iti Anvaya. That Anvaya was given. Idanim Avyavahita Vigrahokta Virodha Pratipadana Dvara Vruttam Kasan. Now immediately what explanation has been given based on that, he points out a Virodha, and thus now Uttar Bhashyam Avatarayati. Now the Tikakara proceeds to explain to us the following Bhashya. What is the following Bhashya? So, Anupattau Siddhayam Tad Dharmana Visutram. So since the Atma and Anatma cannot be superimposed upon one another, that is impossible. Therefore, it is not possible that the attributes of Atma and Anatma can be superimposed upon each other. So, Dharmi, Atma and Anatma are Dharmi, possessing certain attributes. They being totally contradictory in nature, one cannot be taken for the other, one cannot be the other. And therefore, naturally, their attributes cannot also be taken to be one for the other. And that aspect, that particular portion is being explained. Tad dharmanam sutram itaretara bhava anupattihi. Therefore, sutram, definitely, or consequently, tad dharmanam, the atma anatma dharmas, the attributes also, itaretara bhava anupattihi. That the attributes of atma cannot be superimposed upon anatma, or attributes of anatma cannot be superimposed upon atma, because for that superimposition, the condition that is required does not obtain. What is the condition required? Purva Pramahita Samskara. That samskara which are brought about by Purva Prama. You must have seen those two things in one place earlier, and that must have created in you those samskaras. And now even though you see them differently, you take them to be obtaining in one place. So Idam and Rajatam, these two were seen in one place earlier. And therefore Rajatam, so whenever we think of silver, we always think of silver as an object there. So now when I see something shining there, I am likely to mistake it to be silver. So this is a condition that was said to be necessary for adhyasa or superimposition to take place. Now we showed here that Atma and Anatma being totally, Idam and Rajat are not contradictory, so they can be in one location. But Atma and Anatma being totally contradictory cannot be in one location. So there is no way that you could have previously seen them in one location and then remember that I had seen Atma and Anatma in one location. So now when you see Atma, take it to be Anatma. Or see Anatma, take it to be Atma. This is not possible. And similar condition about that dharma or the attributes of Atma and Atma also does not obtain, and therefore that adhyasa of that dharma also is not possible. This is what the Tikakara proceeds to show. Nanu iti. So Tika says, Ratnaprabha, Nanu evam Atma Anatmanoho Parak Pratyakttvena Chit Achitvena Grahya Grahakatvena Ch Virodhat. So this is based on Avyavahita Vigraha. Vigraha means the immediate explanation that was given, on that is this statement based. Purva Pakshi says, Evam Atma Anatmanoho Parak Pratyakttvena So Virodhat. Inasmuch as Atma and Anatma, both of them are opposed to each other by way of Parak Pratyaktva, that one is outward, one is inward. Chit Achitvena, that one is conscious, other is Jada. Grahya Grahakatvena, one is object, other is subject. Virodha, this threefold Virodha, or the contradiction obtaining between Atma and Anatma. Tamah prakashavad aikyasya tadatmyasya cha anupattau. Again the anvaya is given. Therefore tamah prakashavad, like light and darkness are totally mutually exclusive, and so Atma and Anatma are mutually exclusive because of these three kinds of contradictions obtaining. Therefore, itaretara bhava. What is itaretara bhava? One assuming the state of the other. So aikyam, either total identity between them, or tadatmya, or one being totally one with the other. Like the eye of Pindavat, like the iron and fire, they become totally indistinguishable. So tadatma means when the two things are not distinguishable, even though they retain their separateness, but still they become indistinguishable. And in aikya, they do not retain their separateness, they become totally one. So they, either way can be said to be itaretara bhavaha, say both of them being impossible. Anupattau satyam tat pramiti abhavena. Therefore, there is no pramiti or prama or the knowledge of there being one, because their oneness is not possible. Adhyasa abhavepi. So that the samskara born of the past knowledge is a samagri, is what is required for adhyasa now, and such samagri or the adequate material not being there, adhyasa abhavepi. Therefore, adhyasa is not possible. Even though adhyasa between Atma and Anatma is not possible, tad dharmanam chaitanya sukha jadi dukkhadinam vinimayena adhyasa hastu. Purva Pakshi is alright. Even though adhyasa between Atma and Anatma is not possible, we say that let there be adhyasa or superimposition between the dharmas. What is dharma or attributes? Dharma attribute of Atma is Chaitanya, and Chaitanyam Sukham cha Atmanah Dharmah. Before that the Tikakara says, Purnananda, Aikyam nama atyanta abhedah, Bheda sahishnu abhedah tadatmyati vivekah. Aikyam nama atyanta abhedah. A total non-separateness is called Aikyam. Like the river merging into the ocean, and there is Aikyam, a total identity, leaving no distinction between river and ocean. This is called Abhedah, Aikya. Bheda Sahishnu Abhedah Tadatmyam. But that Abheda or oneness in which this distinction is maintained, Like the iron and fire, they are also one, but still they retain the distinction of ironness and fireness. It's called Bheda Sahishnu Abheda. Abheda or non-separateness that tolerates the separateness. Aikya is the non-separateness that does not tolerate separateness. Like river and ocean, that identity is that which does not tolerate any distinction at all. But the oneness between iron and fire is the oneness which tolerates the separateness. So, either way, this one is called Aikya, other is called the Tadatmya. None of them is possible. So, Tat Pramiti Abhavena. Tat Pramiti Abhav means Aikya Pramayaha Abhavena. Tajjanya Samskara Rupa Karana Bhavat Adhyasa Abhavepi Ityartha. So, since Atma and Anatma can never be one in one location, therefore we could not possibly have any samskaras or impressions of the knowledge of their oneness, and therefore that pramiti or that samskara required for the present adhyasa not being there, adhyasa between Atma and Anatma is not possible even then. So tad dharmanam so tayoho dharmanam tayoho atma anatmanoho dharmanam ityartha. Tad dharmanam is from the bhashya. You must know what comes from bhashya. Tad dharmanam comes from bhashya. That means tayoho dharmanam, between the dharmas of these two Atma and Anatma. Tayoho is a dual. Chaitanya sukha jadi dukkhadinam. Chaitanyam sukham cha atmano dharma. So Chaitanyam being conscious, and sukham being happiness is the dharma of Atma. And then jadi dukkhadinam. Jadyam dukkham cha anatmano dharma. Jadyam means being inert, and dukkham means being a source of unhappiness is a dharma of anatma. Sukhadehe atmanah swarupatvepi dharmatvena vyapadeshah to aupacharikah iti bhavah. Somebody said Atma does not have any dharma. You say Atma is nirdharmakaha. Atma is nirdharmakaha, devoid of any attributes. How do you say that Satchit Ananda is the dharma of Atma? You must understand the difference between dharma and swarupa. Dharma is attribute, which is subject to changing. Swarupa is that which cannot change. So that Satyam Jnanam Anantam or Sat Chit Ananda are not attributes of Atma. That's called Swarupa of Atma, meaning the very nature of Atma. And so, because Atma cannot be otherwise, so had Atma been big and small and something like that, you would have called it Dharma. But here, Satchit Ananda is called Swarupa of Atma. But even then here, they are called Dharma of the Atma, attributes of Atma, merely in a secondary sense, just to compare them with the attributes of Anatma, which is Jadam, and then Jadyam, Ajadyam, Dukkham, etc. Alright, Tad Dharmanam Chaitanya Sukhajadya Dukkhadinam Vinimayena Adhyasa Hastu. Vinimaya means exchange. So you exchange the dharma. Like with iron and fire, there is Vinimayena Adhyasa. There is an exchange. Iron imparts its dharma to fire, and fire imparts its dharma to iron. So what is the dharma of iron? The roundness that is given to fire. And what's the dharma of fire? The heat and the color that are imparted to iron. There is an exchange there. That's called Vinimayena Adhyasa. Vinimaya means exchange. So when the business people exchange, you give one thing, he gives you something else. So Vinimayena Adhyasa Astu. Let there be this Adhyasa, meaning one imparting its attributes to other one imparting the attribute to one. Let that kind of Adhyasa be there. Even though Adhyasa between Atma and Anatma is not possible, let there be Adhyasa between their dharmas or their attributes. Why not? Vinimayena Vyatyasena Ityartha. Vyatyasa means again reversal or inversion. So this way. Ityataha tad dharmanamapi. So Bhashyakara. Ityataha tad dharmanamapi sutaram itaredar bhava anupattihi. So tad dharmanam ratna process tayoho atma anatmanoho dharmaha tad dharmaha tesham tad dharmanam. So between dharma of the Atma and Anatma also, itaretara bhava anupattihi. Itaretara bhava meaning either aikya or tadatma, anupattihi is impossible. What is itaretara bhava anupattihi? That Ratnaprabha explains. Itaratra dharmyantare itaresham dharmanam bhavah itaretara bhavah. Itaratra itarasya bhavah itaretara bhavah. There are two itaretara bhavah. Earlier also Bhashyakara said, between Atma and Anatma, itaretara bhavah. Between the Atma dharma and Anatma dharma, itaretara bhavah. In earlier case, Atma and Anatma, itaretara bhava means one having the dharma of the other. In this thing, one, imparting dharma upon the other. So, itaratra is the seventh case. Itaratra dharmiyantare. What is dharmi? Possessing dharma. Now, what are the two dharmis? Atma and Anatma are two dharmis possessing dharma. Atma possessing the dharma of Chitvam and Sukham, and Anatma possessing the dharma of Jadyam and Dukkham. So itaratra, so Atmani in Atma, itaratra dharmyantare, so the Atma which is one dharmi, itaresham dharmanam bhavaha, the dharma of the Anatma, suppose they are found in Atma, then it is called itaretara bhavaha. Or